So we have an article, American Thinker, 3 reasons why Trump shouldn't run for president in 2024. So basically, I agree with it. Should Trump run? Well, he is going to because of his personality. But frankly, if you actually want to, if you like the Make America Great, the MAGA movement, to achieve its goals, to be more prominent in the politics, there are a lot of better MAGA people that could possibly to get the job done. Donald Trump just kind of carries too much baggage, and the main issue is he ignites the left too much. Now, if you put in any other Republican that has the exact same Trump's positions, it would actually probably be even more competent of legislating and enacting those uh, line items. Having just having Trump on the ballot, it's basically like for the left, it's basically he's like it's a new Hitler. You don't want to mobilize the left. You would want the like a lot of the of course yeah the hardcore leftists will go out and vote for Democrats anyway, but the people that just came off the sidelines in the last election, they can just stay home because they would see what like a Biden who they think it's a basically Republican, a light, and have some guy like DeSantis or something. To them, they're not that politically in tuned. They would think it's because all they think about is like either you're defeating Hitler or you're Bernie Sanders. You're about to get some free shit. Other than that, they think they can't tell the difference, so they're just gonna stay home. So if you want, yes, to further the MAGA movement, Donald, you probably shouldn't have Donald Trump running, but I know he will anyway, so it's going to be interesting. Now the article by William Sullivan says Trump was a great president, and Americans of all stripes beginning to recognize that. I doubt it. I doubt the left is coming around to Trump. Even his opponents will. Well, I mean, give it enough time. Just like the left are in love with W now, or W. Bush, because I guess he wasn't as bad as Orange Hitler. Give it enough time, and then they're gonna find some conservative so repulsive, so right wing that they want the old goofy Trump. And actually, Trump's positions, they actually kind of were not that far off from Bernie's. That much, well, he was a lot better than Bernie's, but some stuff about the tariffs and some of his ideas were Bernie-esque. So just the actual positions were not super crazy, but the to the left, it's just the few things that he said about the Hispanics, the Mexicans being rapists or whatnot or whatever. Just the few quotes that he had basically polarized and jump started the anti-Trump movement so badly. So it's right now he would be in his own way. Uh, Stupid about supposed January 6th insurrection that was worse than 9/11, citing the futile impeachments where Democrats beclown themselves and conducting show trials against him. Perhaps most importantly, President Trump did nothing short of giving American conservatives a voice in the culture again, punching back at the left-wing government corporate media attacks against conservative principles like life, family, American exceptionalism, and by eventually forcing them to expose their fatalistic impulses and practices for all to see. I mean, I don't think Trump was pretty super libertarian economically. Trump was not that good on economics, but he was okay. It was much better than Biden. Can't even imagine. I mean, if it's good that Biden is, it's became a lame duck already, but I could only imagine the type of damage he would have done to America if had he actually started to implement any of his agenda. I mean, basically, you'd have forced unionization of everything. The IRS would you basically all the banks send all your records directly to the IRS. I mean, complete police state, economic police state. So the reason one, Virginia template. In November 2021, Republican Glenn Youngkin ended the long-standing Democratic stranglehold on the governorship of Virginia. Republican Winsome Sears won Lieutenant Governor Jason Myers. Yeah. Republican can pick up 7 seats in the Virginia House of Delegates, rallying to a 2-delegate majority for being a 5-delegate minority in the state legislature. So yeah, I mean, rightly or wrongly, Republicans are poised to do big in the midterms. Um, just the American public, it kicks out the bums. It, like, things are not going so well. It just takes it out on the current administration. Like, for example, the inflation. Well, Donald Trump contributed to that inflation too, but it doesn't have to make sense. So they can receive their win, and then they can possibly in 2024 receive another win, but you just have to not mobilize the Democrats. Republicans won Deep Blue State in Virginia by espousing Trump's politics in a relatively Trump-free campaign. He goes to the Romney curse. Basically, Mitt Romney failed against because so Romney ran as a response to Obama and Obamacare, but the problem is he was the worst candidate to oppose Obamacare because Obamacare was copied from Romneycare. So basically, he couldn't effectively oppose it. And here we have, it does make sense that Trump was bad on COVID. I mean, in the beginning, he tried to downplay it or try to brush it off, and then he got spooked. This is what the article says. Along with whatever comes of Biden's foreign policy that has led us to the brink of World War III, to be a referendum on America's liberty strangling and the economy crushing COVID response. Time can only illuminate how wrong the government's health experts have been about everything when it comes to COVID. Shut down the country over disease that we knew almost immediately only severely affected and the very old immunocompromised. Donald Trump supported the national shutdown to flatten the curve. Then he shut down everything down until Easter 2020, opening the door to level tyranny that have never been before seen in America. Trump had supposed the lockdowns and the masks. Oh, I'm sorry. Trump supported the lockdowns, the masks, and the vaccines in the boosters. Here is the truth. The Republicans can and will run on the 2022 and 2024. Masks don't work, have never worked. There's not a single place on the planet where they have. The vaccines may be rhymes with efficacious in preventing hospitalization or death. But do they not prevent infection transmission as the way they promised? And boosters, they've proven obviously ineffective, that they're rarely mentioned anymore, even by the most zealous of the Fauci faithful. So yeah, if you want to be, yes, 2022, COVID is still going to be remembered. 2024, I don't know if I agree with the author that somebody who was good on COVID would be rewarded at the ballot box. Maybe. But yeah, basically, Trump capitulated on COVID, and we need a hardcore Republican who is very anti all these lockdowns, all these vaccine mandates and stuff like that. That's gonna be the populist ticket. All right, and rise of DeSantis. So basically, move over Trump. Here comes DeSantis. Ron DeSantis that faces opposition when it comes to government-imposed COVID tyranny and the voice of modern conservatism. He doesn't suffer from Romney curse in that he doesn't have to defend against his own past violations upon America's liberty over COVID, because he was among the first to successfully lift and speak out against those impositions. We need a leader who can't be tied to leading America into COVID lockdowns or, right or wrong, the mythology of January 6th insurrection. And most importantly, we don't need a leader that doesn't come with the physical and mental impairments that come with 78 years of life on Earth, as Trump will be carrying in 2024. The front runner for that role, it seems clear, should be Ron DeSantis. And while Trump was the right man for the presidency at the time, I hope that he will recognize that his time for that role has passed and he'll pass the torch to his natural successor. Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, Trump should not run again for the good of the party or for the good of the ideals that he championed. But I don't think he really cares about those ideals. He just wants power. He loves the power, so he's gonna run. And it might be a toss up. It's gonna be tough with him running.